Hi friends, welcome to Tutor's Funny channel. Today I'm going to teach the Laravel 9 with Vue.js using login form and registration form using Restful API. How the Restful API working with Laravel 9 and Vue.js. Let I show the demo first. So I'm going to go to register new user, type Saman, it's a first name, email address sam@gmail.com, password you type. Click save button. Registration successfully. Now let's go to the page which is a login page. So login. So here you have typed the login. So if you have typed the login, someone@gmail.com, if you type the password wrongly, login fail. If you type the password successfully, what is the wrong? Let's check. Is there any problem with the registration? SAM Gmail. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, this email address is with the wrong. Okay, you have understand. You have the email address SAM. Okay, right. Now you type correct email address. Login successfully. It goes to the home page. Right. How to do this project step by step? We'll teach. Now let's start the project. So first I'm going to develop the backend application. So we have to go to the Laravel 9. So go to the official website Laravel. Click here, this is the official website. Here you can go to the get started. Here the version should be 9. Okay, so you go to the installation part. Here this is the installation part. You can see here. You click on here, you can go below. This is the Laravel 9 installation. So you have to copy this one here. You just click on this clipboard, back to your project. Now I'm going to develop my project is in my D drive. So you have to make the folder, one folder, yeah, one project, KMS. Example. Here first I am going to create a backend application. So here this one, you have to CMD inside this project. Right click here, I'm going to name it as this one. Backend. Otherwise you can give us KMS backend. This is how you have developing. Okay, you have developing like this. Backend, present key. You have to wait until the project Laravel project get installed. It will install here. It's a Laravel 9 latest version installed. You have to wait until all your dependency and repository, all the things are get installed. Now you can see here, this is your backend application is created. Now I'm going to inside this folder. So how to go inside this folder? You cd kms back app. Now you go inside this folder. Now I'm going to open this folder in VS Code. It's a code space dot. It will be generated in new VS Code editor. Now you can have a backend application. This is the fresh one. Yeah, you have a fresh one. You can see here. These are the folder structure in Laravel 9. Okay. Now here this is the env file. We have to create the database first, right? So I'm going to go to my if you are not installed XAMPP in your machine, you must install XAMPP. After that, go to the localhost dashboard, your database dashboard. I'm going to create the new database. So you have to go to the respective localhost. So that's the one. Press enter key. Right. It went. Now I'm in the dashboard. I'm going to go to create a project. DB KMS. This is my project. Okay. So right click create. Your database has been created successfully. Now here this same database name. You have to the env file. This is your database connectivity section. Here is defaultly come your database name, which is a Laravel. You have to change the name as dbkms. What is the name you have given? Now let's save file, save all. Now what I'm going to do is after done the stuff, uh, your database configuration is finished. Now we go to the route section. Okay, first you have to continue the route section. Route calling the controller. Controller will be get the records from the model. Then we have to pass it to the view. Right, that's how we have working the things. Right. First I'm going to the deal with the web.php. Now here defaultly you can see if you run the application. So this is your application. If you run and check what would be the output, right? Right. So in order to run the Laravel application, okay, your backend application, PHP artisan serve. This is the command which you use to run the application. It automatically configure the port and everything. You copy this address here, this one, only this. Don't copy with this bracket. Now you have to paste them. Now your application is running. Sorry, it's already my running that background as well. That's why. Sorry, I'll close it. Right, this is my one. Okay, right, my previous project I have opening, that's why that project show it. Okay, this is our fresh Laravel. Right, now what I'm going to do is let's let this is my Laravel. Right, now first I'm going to do the routes part. So first I'm going to make this one as a login. So we have to do the login part. So when the right, first I'm going to go to the route section. Right, now here first I'm going to go to do the login part. Right, I'll be explain what is the code this does. We have to write like this here, route. If you want route, your route, this all the source code I provided, don't worry. Your post, you have to write like this. Okay, if I write like this and show you, it take too much of time to complete the project, so that I have just copy and paste it. I have to explain the lines. Routes colon post, open and bracket and close bracket, slash login. If the request is coming to the like this, if you are type the URL like this, login, what happens is it goes to the login controller, check action method. So now you have to mention the path where your controller resided. I haven't made this controller yet. Okay, so let's make the controller. Right, so how to make the controller? So this is a project is running. I'm going to get another terminal over here. It's very simple. Rather than get the terminal outside, here you write PHP artisan controller make controller. So you have to specify the name of the controller, which is what is the name. I'm going to make the controller, which is a first I'm going to make the controller registration controller, right? Register controller. Present key. Make, I think, right, one colon, not two colons, right? Your controller has been created, register controller. You can call the controller is created. If you type this command, you can see here it automatically provide the path. Your controller is created where into the folder HTTP controllers and your registration controller. So you can see here. App inside the folder HTTP control section, your registered controller has been created successfully. Perfect. How do I have to create another controller, which is I have to create two different controllers, then you will be understand correctly. Login also I have to make another controller, login. Right, login controller has been created successfully. Right, now I'm going to create the model. We no need to create the model. Okay, how to create the model? This one also PHP artisan make model, specify the name of the model. The model also in the registration default login and registration, we have a user. This is a user class already we have created. It mentioned the field name, email, and password. We get this model and we have do the project. Then only we have to call the auth. Okay, user authentication part. Then only this authentication part, if you have working with the Laravel, they have provide the authentication defaultly. You get and configure. Okay, we no need to create another model and register model, and we have to, we already there here. This all the auth component is there, right? It reside on the federate in Laravel, right? So it's simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our project. This is our model, right? Now first I'm going to go to the route section. So first I'm going to go to the route section, which is register. Okay, first I'm going to starting from the register component, right? So the login is we have discuss about later. So because first you have to register the user. After that we only validate the user whether the username and password correctly or not. Without register the record, how to check the username and password both are match or not. So first you have to register user. If the request is coming slash register, go to the register component. So you have to provide the path over here. Your component decided where you have to write use app slash app slash, you can see the http slash controllers slash, okay, controller slash, this is your path. What is the controller name? You have to give the controller name correctly. Register component controller register the controller decided on the if it is any problem, you have to rename it and control C, copy and paste it over here. But the name is must app. This app, it should be start with the capital letter http controllers. Inside the controllers we have a register controller control, right? Now here you write the controller and you can mention the path. Perfect. After that, what I'm going to do is here we have got to the register controller. You have to make only one action method, which is a store. Okay, store. Before that we have to call this model. The data is coming from this model. Then again we have to do another thing is we have to call the model and we have to explain it. Don't worry, we have to mention these two things before that, right? Namespace is already there. Okay, this three namespaces is must. First one is your model is, you have to given the model path where your model is resided, because the data, the controller which will be communicate with the model to the database and get the records and fetch the record from the database and check through. So you have to mention the path where your model is resided. My model is resided inside the app model, models folder, inside the model folder, user. This is my models folder. So you have to mention the path clearly. After that, federate. This is must. This auth means this is the authentication. This is the authenticate. This is the Laravel security part. Okay, the username and path. We enter the username and path. It check through the authentication part. There is a keyword called auth. It is reside on this directory. Okay, use, illuminate, support, federates, auth. You have to write like this. After that, use hash. Hash means we have to set while registration the user. You have to set the hash password. Okay, this is a hash. The password we have to store as a hash. Then only the password will be more security and secure. Okay, right? So now what I'm going to do is here first I'm going to create the method which is store method. So let's go to the registration part. Okay, here this. Copy it, I paste it. I'll be explaining. Don't worry. Right. I'll be explaining. Don't worry. I have created the function which is a public function store request method. Request. This is a request. So you have to create the request method. This is the parameter. You have to pass the parameter. Okay. So here after that, open bracket and close bracket. Right. Once you open the bracket, you have to close. Inside the method, you have to create one variable input request or. Okay, request over. Okay. So user means this is the user model. We are get the records from the user model. Okay, this is a model. Okay, this is where we have to create the record. So this is a model. So user create this same field. This is the database field. This is the model. This is same field which should be you have to do it here. Okay, this is the form field, your form field. Okay, this is a form field. You have to write the form field, right? Password only, same thing. The input password, the same input password. Only we have to return write hash make. Then only the password should be make as a hash one. So you have to write hash. This is a predefined keyword which is a hash colon make. The password we should be make it as a hash password, right? So get the after fill the form and click create method, click button, it goes the response JSON status to, okay, message we need to display as registration success. Okay, well, registration success. Okay, this one should have a JSON format, right? So let's check with this one. Now let's do the one thing. So my project is running. So here I haven't done the migration part. So the user.php, we have to do the migration part. So here you can see here my table haven't created yet. So here only my no tables is found. So we have to migrate. So in here we ordered the things is we don't need to create the migration table part. We have the defaultly coming in our registration uh, that registration part. So we have to migrate. So I migrate your type PHP artisan migrate. If you run the command, here your user table has been migrated successfully. Now let's check the database table structure. Here the table structure is created successfully, right? After that, here I have a one problem. Here you normally you are created the API, the request, Laravel request done by the via web.php page. So here in this situation, we are using the RESTful API, not the not we are not calling the views. So here we have to communicate with the API. So this code of control X to cut off, go to here the route section. There is another file which is APIs. So here you have to call them both. That's the only the thing you have to do. And web.php the path also where your control resided. This also control is cut off. Control it to paste here. This is the API section. Now let's save all. That's the thing you have to write. Let's save all. Now let's back to our application and check whether the request is working or not. That's the thing. What you are going to do is here the API request you are checking in our uh, VS Code editor. There will be the extension which is a Thunder client. You are not installed the Thunder client extension. You go to the extension. You have to type Thunder client here, THUN here. This is the one you have to install. If you install it, you can communicate with the RESTful API part. I already installed it. So let's click new request. Here we have to test it. So how to test it in Laravel? Very simple. What's the port you are running here? This is the first one. Here you can hear it's running. Okay, this one. Copy it. This is a post request, comma. It is decided on the API folder, API, comma, sorry, slash, so API. Here, what is the request? It's a register. Register. Body, you have to mention the JSON format. You have to write open and close it. It's a JSON format. First one, what's the name? Name Steve. Come on. Email. st@gmail.com. Come on. Password. One, two, three. Click send button. What was there? It's coming on. There are target container. Register controller does not target class register controller context exit target class. That's the error you are coming. The thing is here, go to your project target class controller does exit mean goes to this. There is a problem with the controller name. Okay, so the controller name, which is a problem. Let's see, we already saved. This is register console. Here, this one we have to remove it. Okay, only the things we have to done by the registration part only. That's the thing. That's why something error. Let's check again. In target class container not exit. Target class. This is your registration part. Go to his explorer, register controller. You have the same control name, which will be Control C to copy the name is correct or not. Go to the API app, the control app, HTTP controllers registration controllers. Right, the name is correct. This also name is correct. The name is the problem. I think the name is the problem. Okay, that's the thing. Right. Now let's check it. If you give the different name, it's not working. I think. Right. Now let's check. It's not here. This one. Click here. Right. Now the registration success. Okay. If you get the target class, the problem, you go to the that kind of error occur in the situation. You go back to your project. You have to check, double check with your controller name. This is a controller name, controller path. Okay, you can see the correct or not. This is the same name you have given. Here also uh, I have leave the spelling mistake. That's why it's I got the error, that kind of error. Now the API request is success for the registration part. Right. Now let's move into the login part. Login part. So how to do the login part? Login part also. You check login path. We already created the login path. That also the post request. Route post slash login controller class check. This is the action method we have wrote. Okay. So when you type like this, it goes to the login controller check action method. So you have to write the path clearly. This is a login controller. So you write login. So login controller here this is a login controller is there. It goes here. Here first the same thing. You don't need to do anything else. Just go to the login controller part. The same code you just copied. All things we need for over here as well. The request we don't need two times, right? User auth class, right? Okay, here we have tried the class only, this one only. Only check request only we have tried. Right. I'll be explain, don't worry. Right. So here, this one on India, right. 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 Now you can see here what I did here is what is the username and your password you are sending to on the front end part email address. It get the request, put it here, credential. You have to check email and password. Say email is required, password, and here, there is the keyword called auth. Simple, you have to put the auth keyword. It will be manage your email address and password whether it's match or not in the database. Okay. Satam, you have to put the credential. What is the email and password you are getting from here? Okay. In your front end, you have to go to the front end and check it. Okay. And if it is your username and password match, return response in the JSON, status true, message success. If it is any problem, status false, you have to, this also JSON you have to display. This is the efficient way to do. Okay. So here, this one, message you have to write fail. Write fail. Fail. Write fail. That's it. Simple. Now let's save all and check. I will be explaining. Let's back to our request. This one. Let's change this one as a login. So login. I will be check it. Only here. You are registered here. Check it. here register successfully. If you are placing a different password, login 465. What happen is when you type the email address as password here, okay, it's coming to here. First, how the flow is working here like this. If you type the front end, this particular request, it's coming to your API. Where's your API? API, it's coming here, tested. When the request is coming slash login, so slash login here, slash login. What happen is go to the login controller, check action method. Your login controller is where resided. We already provide the path above. After that, it goes to the login controller. You have to go and check with the action method whether it is exists or not. If it is exist, it's coming to here. Get the request, your email and password. What's the email and password you are typing over here? It will be coming to this particular variable, and this variable, your email and password is there. It get it here, and there will be a function which is in Laravel validate. It will be validated. Okay, here we have to create the variable credential. Okay, right, you get the request and validated, right, validated. These two email address and password, if it is required, these two things, it is put into this variable credential. Now here, this is the auth part. The auth part which will be text your email address and password which will be matching or not. Here where it will be checking auth colon atom. It will be match. If it is matching, it will be written to the response as JSON format. As this is the JSON format, I have to return status true. Okay, success. If your email address password does not match, it go below and display this message which is a status false, display as error message which is a fail. Okay, this is simple code I have written and explained. Okay, this is simple code I have written and explained it. Okay, first you have to understand the front end flow, how the flow going on the front end back end part. Okay, first you have to starting your API, starting the API. Okay, here is the API. When the request is coming API, it goes to the login controller, check action method. Okay, it goes to the check action method over here. This is the login controller. You have to write this user this because this you have to implement these namespaces because this is the model. First, you have to mention where your model is resided. The model is a part where you communicate with the database and fetch the data, and we have checking. The auth, which is a checking purpose, we have to use auth. It is reside on the forget it. Okay, this is the standard in Laravel. Okay, so hash, which is we have use the password, which is we have to hash for the security purpose. So use these three things. After that, you get the check method. You have to check the credential. What is the username and password? And coming here, put into this credential. You have to check using this keyword auth atom. Okay, if it is success message will be. If you fail, it will be fail message display. Right. Now the front end is we have checked the front end is working successfully. Now we have to backend is working successfully. We have to go to the vuejs, which is a front end application. Right, now let's back to our project. I have already done the backend part. Now I'm going to go to install the front end part. So here you have to type the address bar cmd. Right, now here we have to go to install the Laravel vuejs. So here we have to go to our T-Plus funny. We having our Laravel 9. Here we have the Vue.js script. Okay, here we have you mention our Vue.js installation here. Okay, if you don't know the CRUD application in Laravel 9 with Vue.js, you can learn by here. You will be getting everything over here. You will be study everything. So here I'm going to go to the Vue.js. You type this one. Okay, you can get in here. npm install vue CLI. There is a command you have to type. Okay, so you have to back to here this one. Press enter key. You have to wait until the process completed. Vue CLI is configured successfully. I'm going to create a Vue project. So here I have type this command. Vue init webpack. I'm going to create a project. So right click here. We have tried this one. This is a KMS frontend. Right, KMS frontend. Okay, you write like this. It's KMS frontend. Press enter key on your keyboard. You have to type the project name. Here, downloading your templates. Project name if you want, you can give. Otherwise, I will leave it as blank. Here, it automatically getting. Press. It asks the view router. You have to give yes. It asks the yes. Standard yes. Yes. You have to yes. You have to here. You have to select as karma. Night watch yes. Here you have to select as npm. Press enter key. Here you have to wait until all the dependency get installed. Now here installation is completed. Now I'm going to how to go to this. You have to go to this inside this front end. So how to go to inside the front end? It will be clearly mentioned how to run this project here. To get started, you have to type cd kms means you have to go inside the folder here kms front end. So kms front end. Press enter key. You have to type the command npm run dev. Press enter key. Now you can see your front-end application welcome page. Okay, you can see the front-end application welcome page. So here your front-end is open. So here you can see right. Now here this is the port where it should be running. So here you wait. It's running. It automatically configure the port and it will be running the application. I already running my one VS Vue.js project. That's why it's default port is not display. Default port should be 8080. Here it will be display 8081 because I already running one project. So the example, that's why you have to wait until the project is port is configured. Now our front end is running in this port. Okay, 8081. I just copy it, Control C copy and back to our browser and paste it over here and press enter key here. This is the welcome page of Vue.js. Now let's back to our Vue application. So we have to open on the VS Code editor. So this is your front end application. Double click. This one you have to open on the VS Code editor. CMD. So type CMD code space dot and open on your VS Code editor. Now your entire project will be open on the VS Code editor successfully. Right. Now first what I'm going to do is first I already taught how the URL and all things works, right? This is the index.html. So this is a single page application. It's called the app. Okay, app is reside on where here inside the src folder app.vue. Okay, right? So this is resided here. It will be calling here. This one's a route view. So the logo I'm going to remove the logo. It is working as a route view. Okay, route view. So here it's got the routes. Okay, it's got what is the template you are written here. This app view. You have to call the route view. It goes a route view. First, what is the component it will be calling? It working as a component. First component is calling hello world. This is a component we should be calling. It's goes where components reside on components folder hello world. So here it will be working. Okay, it will be working as a route piece. Right. Now here, first what I'm going to do is here. First I'm going to write a component, which is I'm going to create a component. Go to the component folder. I'm going to create a component. It's register component. Register dot view. Register.view. Right. This is the component I have to write. Okay. Right. Now here, how to write the component. So this is all the things I have to. This style, all the things have been known. We don't need them. Hello world. You just simply you have to write get them only the script. Script it started here, close it here. This is a script. It's a JavaScript. This is a JavaScript. This is your HTML file. Okay. So what you are written in this templates, you have to all things are you have to remove it. Okay, simple file. So template start at here, template is close it here. Inside the template you have to write the HTML files. Inside the JavaScript export data, here you have to write the JavaScript code. Okay, this both code you have to return in the here registration.view. Right. Okay, so rather than writing, I already done. I just copy and paste it. So it's very simple. Copied and pasted. I'll be explaining. Don't worry. Right. You can see here. Template is starting here, closing here. Here, this is the registration code. This is a simple HTML part. Okay, nothing be there, right? Before we have to write the HTML part. This all are bootstrap styles. So bootstrap style we have to attach. So how to attach the bootstrap style? Go to your go to the respective bootstrap website. So we have to write bootstrap. So type bootstrap on the search bar. Press enter key on your keyboard. Click on here. Click it here. Go below. This is the CDN. Copy it. Back to your project. Index.html. Paste inside the attack. Your bootstrap style. You paste inside the attack. Then your style has been taken. Save out. Right. Now let's back to a register. Now you get add the style. Okay. So here you can see here the form consists of three fields: first name, email, and password. Here email, first name, email, and password is simple form design. Okay. Only the thing we have added here over as here two-way binding. So this V model means it's a two-way binding on Vue.js. Okay. Right. Now here you can see here in the inside the JavaScript CSS file, we have to import Vue after the AXOS. This is the uh, dependency we have to install. So go to the this is your file project. So you have to type cmd. You have to type npm iaxios. Okay, then only the front end and back end communication is working. It will be managed in order to use this file, in order to manage the RESTful APIs. Okay, the package installations has been completed successfully. Now back to our project. Okay, so here you can see here after the package installation, you have to import XOCS from this package. After that, we have to call this view.use. You have to call the view. Then only it will be you can work it. Or export the name of the page. What's the register? Your register. You write register. Register. Data return. You write the blank array result. Okay, so here write student name, email, and password. You write like this. Okay, these three things. The name, email, and password. The same field here. You have to return the two-way binding. Student name, student email, student password. Okay, what is the name type on this particular text field? It will be assigned to this particular variable. What is the email you are typing? It pass into this variable here, this VA model. What is the password? It pass into here. Okay, after that, when you click the save data, it goes to the save data function. It prevent the if you are typed like this submit prevent mean it will be prevent the refresh the browser. Okay, so here it goes to the save data function. So here we have to write inside the view, you have to write methods. You have to write the methods. Inside the method, you have to call this function save data. You have to write this API call. This API already we are tested in our Thunder client. Okay, this is a API address. Okay, this student mean this all the data. What is the data you are type on these fields? This all the data should be stored here. This if you are call this component, this is a student. It goes to this particular API and add the records into the database. Okay, that's how this is working. Okay, now let's test it whether it's working fine or not. Go to the index.js. Here you have to provide the routes. Then only if the routes is working. This one should be the register over here. Copy, paste it over here. This is register. Sorry, register convert to register. Right. Here, this is your when the request is coming register. Let's go to the register component. This will be path is here. You have to give the path over here. Get the page and done the stuff. Right. Okay. Now let's back to our project. KMS. Right here. You have to type here register. Right here, if you type the register form is displayed successfully. Okay, you have to add some CSS style over here. That's why it's working like this. So go back here. You have to add some CSS style, right? Then only that's why it's working like this. Okay, right? Card section. You have to add the card section. Right. Align. You have to write it as center. What happened? Align left. Right here. Now the form is working successfully. A simple registration form. Now you can see the registration form look like this. Okay. Right. Now here we will be able to add the records. Okay. So we write the record first name John jo@gmail.com, password 123, click save button. If it is not working, you just control C to right click impact. You go to the console and check it whether okay, it's working here. It's working. Okay, it's working successfully. Right now it's working successfully. You get a message. Okay, it's working. No problem. It's working successfully. Right now, what you are going to do is this is your front end. Okay, so now let's check it whether the database is the record is added or not. Go to the user table. You can check it. Okay, well, what is the record is added or not in your here? It's added. Jo. Yeah. Here, this is your hash password. Successfully, you are working your hash password, right? Okay. Now I'm going to go to create another component, which is a login component. Right. Select the component folder. Right click here, login component. Login.view. Center key. Right. Now here I'm going to go to login. This all things control C to copy, control V to paste over here. I'll be explained, don't worry. Right. Here also you have the template started here, template close it here. The same form tab. Row here is for same form tab you have right here. The login. It's a simple login form I have attached here. Simple login. We have two fields. One is a email. Second thing is a password. Okay, we have simple login form. Okay, I've tried a simple login form. We have one submit button. Okay, here when you click the submit button, it prevents the reload of stuff. It's also login data. These all things you have written same thing. Here, student, email, and password. At the moment, we at this example, we don't need a name. We only check through email and password whether it is valid or not. So here, what is the email address typing here, password typing here, we click submit button. It goes to the login data method. This is a login data method. It goes to the respective API. We test through the API. Okay, get this data. Here, your data will be getting this data variable. It will be, you can check it here. The data dot status we already defined in our here you can see here our backend. We already done here. This is the request in backend here status. Okay, it will be checking. If the status is true, alert login successfully. Okay, it passes into the another hello world, which is a you have to type this hello world component. So you have hello world component. You have nothing right here. You have write only the h1 tag welcome to home page. Welcome to home page, right? Okay, if the username and password successfully, it will be display the message alert message login successfully. This route should be pushed into hello world. Okay, otherwise login failed. Okay, that's how we have written over here. Now we have to go to the routes folder. Here this is the registration part. You have to mention the login /login. This is also login. This login component. So login component. You have to mention the path. Control C to copy. Paste here. This is a login component. You have to write here. The simple stuff. Control S to save. Okay, save all. Back here project. Now let me check it. Okay, right. Here what is the this is the email and password. So check it. Go to the login page. a simple login page. You have to test it here. Why this is the placeholder is the problem. You have to type placeholder, email, password. Control S to save. Refresh them. Now it's working. Now here we have to write email address jo@gmail.com. Password you type wrong password. Why it's not working? Okay, it's working. Login fail. If you have typed the correct password 123, login success, it goes to the welcome page. Here it goes to the welcome page successful. Okay. Now I hope you can understand this all the things well. Okay. Now if you want to go to the register the data, you go to the register. Okay. Right. I hope you guys you understood the front end and back end well. Thank you for watching.